In today's video, we're going to be wrapping up my January reads. That means some urban fiction, some urban romance, and a little bit of historical fiction. I'll be telling you a little bit about the books and if or not I like them or not. So let's get into it. My name is Raquel. I talk about all things Black books. Welcome and welcome back. So I read 18 books in the month of January. Today, I'm going to give you 15, and then the other three, which is supposed to be four, is my accountability books. And we'll get into that in the next video. So the first book is Therapy Session by B. Scott. This was my first read by B. Scott. And this one is about a couple who's been together for 20 years. They go to this game night. There are three other couples at this game night. They're having a good time and they bring out this game. The game just asks a bunch of intimate questions, and then everybody gets hot and bothered, starts switching partners and being intimate. And the main couple is kind of like, what the heck did we get into? The next day, when they get home, they decide, we've been together for 20 years and we've never been with anybody other than each other. There may be a few things I want to try with somebody else, some things I want to experience. So they decide to go to a therapist so that they can work out how this is going to happen without blowing up their marriage. The thing is, the therapist and the wife have met before. The therapist tried to talk to the wife, but she turned him down. So now they get into this therapy session and she sees him and she's like, it's you. So they go on to have this conversation about what, they have to tell their partner what it is they're going to be doing. They come up with some rules, and then they come up with a time frame, and then they set out to do these things. It was a really good book. I did not, I don't know. I think I might have went into this book blind because I don't know that I knew that this was what was going to be in the book, but I did like it. It turned out to be a really good book. I did enjoy it. Then we have Pressure Cooker by Mal Dahl. This one is about a surgical student who catches her boyfriend cheating, and her revenge is to practice her surgical skills on him. After that, she connects with her study partner and they go on to have a relationship, but they have some extracurricular activities. The next one is Hellraiser by K.L. Hall. This one is about a young lady journalist who is chasing a story about trafficking. Her car breaks down. She wanders into a bar. This bar is not the best place for her to be. A guy named Hellraiser from a rival gang sees her, goes in, and pulls her out. Now they are in danger of this gang coming after them, and so they wind up in close proximity, and the chemistry's off the charts. This book was okay. It was, I don't know, it was okay. Yeah. But I would like to read something else by K.L. Hall. Next, we have Forever Certified. This is a spinoff from Certified Pressure. This is Kalo and Tony's story. Kalo and Tony is in love. They are in their own bubble. And Tony is now experiencing some things with Kalo that she didn't quite realize was a problem until they start living together. Now they live together. Tony realizes that Kalo needs some help. Kalo doesn't want to, I think that he knows he needs some help, but if he can push it off and pretend like it's not happening, it means that he's okay. He comes from a family where back in the day, if something was wrong with your kids, it kind of stains your family's name. And so I think that's part of what he's afraid of. And his dad is definitely afraid of that. So he goes behind the scenes and messes everything up. But Tony and Kayla are locked in. And so because he loves her so much, he is willing to, hear her out, at least see if what she's saying is true and right. I enjoyed Certified Pressure, but not until I got more than halfway through. Then we have Hellcat Barbies. Hellcat Barbies by, this one is Storm Story. It's a part of a series. This one is by Latoya Nicole. Each Hellcat Barbie is about a different person with a different author. I believe there are 5 books. Now, this one is Latoya Nicole, Storm. Storm is about a female race car driver. She lives in Chicago. She's been raised by her uncle, who calls her his son. She is a tomboy. She goes out one night, has this race. Something tragic happens, and she winds up in a little city called Diamond Cove. Now, her car breaks down in Diamond Cove. She finds a mechanic named Dodge. Dodge is grieving the loss of his brother, so he doesn't feel like being bothered, especially with no loudmouth tomboy that he thinks is a lesbian. And he has decided he's going to fix her car. And in order for him to fix her car, she has to be there for a little while. So they wind up in close proximity, having, conversations. They're flirting. So they have chemistry. They do like each other, but they also dislike each other. This is a really, I liked it. It was okay. I liked it. There was just a few things about it that was just kind of like, you know. So I did like parts of it. It was cool. The thing that happened in Chicago is going to come to Diamond Cove, and they've got to work this out. But because Dodge is grieving, doesn't mean he's a punk, because he steps up. That I did like. Then we have Straight Out of Dade County by Diamond D. Johnson. This one is a spinoff to Them Boys from the Bottom. I love, love, love Them Boys from the Bottom. It was so good. Now, Alicia was an attorney in Them Boys from the Bottom, so in Straight Out of Dade County, she is an attorney here. She has, I believe, 3 brothers, 2 older, 1 younger. Alicia has taken on a case where she is defending a guy who is accused of unaliving his wife. She gets him off. When she gets him off, the family of the wife is not happy with that. The family of the wife is part of a gang called the 23 Boys or the 23 Street Boys or whatever the name of the gang is. And so they are coming after Alicia. Now, Alicia's brothers are no punks by any means. And one of her brothers is in a wheelchair. He was shot, and so he's in a wheelchair. And so she meets this guy named Montana. Montana is the man. He is the big guy on the streets. And she doesn't want to talk to Montana because of that. She's an attorney. She doesn't want to get involved with a street guy because it can cause problems with her work. But when she finally does decide to get with Montana, she brings him over to meet her family. And now her brother thinks that he is the guy who shot him. It is a mess, but it's good. I've only read 1 book of the 3 that's in the series, but I can't wait to get into the other 2. Next, we have Is She the Reason by Nako. Now, this book is so deep to me. Like, there are so many different things happening in this book. I feel like I can read it again and still get something else out of it. So it is about this guy and this girl who's a couple, and they are like Bonnie and Clyde. If there's money out there to make, they're going to make it. If they've got to rob a person, a bank, whatever it is, if there's money, they're going to get it. So they wind up getting caught and sentenced to 10 years. Yana serves 10 years. Her husband serves 1 year. Does that sound like snitching to you? It does to me, even though it doesn't say anything, it doesn't mention it at all anywhere in the book. But like I said, there's stuff happening that I was kind of like, yeah, something else going on. But anyway, so Yana gets out of jail, prison, whatever it is. And then she comes home and she thinks when she gets home, everything's going to be beautiful. She's going to have her three girls. Her husband's going to be there. Nope, doesn't happen. Her husband is actually engaged to somebody else. She doesn't know that he's only been in jail for 1 year, and that for the past 9 years, he's been living his life and having their entire family lied to her about him being in jail. Her daughter is dating a guy that she pretty much raised and she would never want her daughter to be with. Her middle daughter pretends not to know her because she has a relationship with the woman her dad plans to marry. And then the younger daughter feels unseen, and so she is acting out. This is a great book. The way Yana navigates through all of these issues and not lose her mind is amazing. I enjoyed this book. So the next book is The Overground Railroad. It's by Candace A. Taylor. This book is a mix of fiction and nonfiction. So there is a fictional story, but they are giving you the facts about the Little Green Book. The Little Green Book, if you don't know, is about, it's basically black businesses, black businesses from, I don't know, maybe like the early 1900s. And so whenever black people were traveling or going from city to city or state to state, because of segregation, they were not able to just go up to the nearest restaurant and get food. So they had this little green book that will tell you where the nearest restaurant, restroom, places to eat, hotel, just whatever you needed. And so it's telling you the history of this little green book. Then we have Coffee Will Make You Black. This is by April Sinclair. Now, the title alone really pulled me in. I had to see what this book was about. And so Coffee Will Make You Black is really a coming of age story about a little girl who grows up in Chicago. And it tells you what it means when, so it starts off before the time when black was beautiful, or when they thought black was beautiful. How about that? So before that, they used to tell kids, like, your parents drinking coffee and they didn't want to give you any. And the kids would want to, why? And they would say, coffee will make you black. And so they come up to the time where um, Black Pride, Black is Beautiful, Afros, the whole thing. And she is growing up during those times. So when she first comes home and says that Black is beautiful, her mother is like, nah, it's not. But they go through that, and they go through having Martin Luther King and his assassination. Like, it goes until she actually goes to college. I think it starts at like maybe around 7 or something, all the way until she goes to college. I enjoyed this book so much. It was really good. It is a series of 3 books. I will not be reading book 2 and 3. She also goes through her sexual identity, and book 2 is about that. And I started it, but I wasn't really into it, so I put it down. I don't really know what the third book is about. Maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. But Coffee Will Make You Black was a really, really good read. I enjoyed it so much. And then next we have The Gathering of Old Men by Ernest J. Gaines. This one was amazing. So in this book, a white man winds up being killed. And they don't know who did it, and they think they know who did it, but they don't know who did it. So in order to protect this black man, the entire community lines up to say they did it. So because they don't know who did it and everybody's saying they did it, they cannot hang him. They really can't do anything because they don't know who did it. And the guy who they think did it kind of is there's this white lady who's crushing on him, and so she kind of arranges it to, you know, to go a certain way. But this was very interesting that they all claim they did it in order to protect this one man. I enjoyed this story. Then the next one is To Love and Protect. It is by Sin. This is about a young lady who's in this toxic relationship with her boyfriend. She leaves that relationship, meets this guy. The guy is an underground boxer. He hires her to become his personal chef. Now, she is a chef. I forgot to say that in the beginning. She is a chef. And he hires her to become his personal live in chef. So they make this bet that if he can get her to fall in love with him in whatever the time frame is, that she will stay and be with him. Neither one of these people originally wanted to be in a relationship, but they are definitely crushing on each other. There's chemistry, they like each other, but that doesn't mean you want to be in a relationship. So they are working on that. It is there are parts in it that I like because it kind of goes up and down. I liked it and then it was kind of slow. I liked it and then it was slow. So it's an okay book. Um, and then there is Legendary Love. I don't really remember A Legendary Love. Let me see, what was it about? I know that there's this girl who's dating this guy, and there's another guy who comes along who has decided that he wants her to be his woman, and initially he starts to treat her like, you are my woman, and tells her to stop calling her boyfriend, and she does it. She has a sister. The two girls are Love and Joy, who and they don't get along. They don't really tell you what the reason is why they don't get along, but you wind up finding out later why they don't get along. Um, yeah, so this guy just kind of steps in and becomes her man without her permission, but he takes care of her. He buys her things. He keeps her safe. Um, yeah, so I don't know. That one wasn't really that good to me. I felt like there was too much left out of the story, but it was an okay read. And then last but not least, we have Capri. So in December, I read Capri 1. So this month in January, I read 1.5, 2, and 2.5. I thought there was only one book left, but there's two. You got 3 and 3.5. I cannot wait to finish this series because I want to see what's going to happen. This is about Capri, and she is trying to keep her brother out of prison. She's also just started a relationship with Quamir, and that's new and exciting and all happy. Her ex-husband doesn't like it, even though he treated her badly. What else is happening? She has an issue with her mother that's happening. She has a new family member. Her nephew, Capella, has a girlfriend now. She is also a part of the plan to keep Capadonna out of jail. So Capri has become the assistant district attorney, and the district attorney is the person who is trying to put uh, Capadonna, I believe it's Capadonna in jail. And so her and Amy are going on the inside to stop him from putting her brother in jail. Amy is supposed to get his attention. Wink, wink. Use her feminine wiles to get in there and find out what she knows. Amy is also going through something. Her ex boyfriend has come around again, and he is threatening to tell Capella, her boyfriend, about her past. Also, Amy just had a baby and she's going through postpartum. She has she's having a hard time with her child, just being a new mom and thinking that there is something wrong with her child, in addition to being a student. So she's got a lot going on. This, so far, I am totally enjoying it. I cannot wait to see how they stop them, because of course they will. And to get into the next series, which is chapter 4, and it is called Quasine. And yeah, so I can't wait. That was the 15 books that I read in the month of January. I think I enjoyed more of them than not. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. And don't forget to do all of the YouTube things, like, comment, share, subscribe. Until next time, see you soon.